Hi, it's Pastor Jenny from Savannah United Methodist Church, and I bring you a message from the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 22, verses 15 to 22. If you haven't read that text just yet, I'll invite you to pause the video and grab a Bible and check out that text from your own Bible, or you can click the link below and it will take you directly to that text to read. But this is my reflection on the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 22, beginning with the 15th verse. Belonging undergirds the story from Matthew for today. The Pharisees, and for simplicity, we'll think about them as the keepers of the Mosaic law. The Pharisees and the Herodians, those who follow King Herod, team up to trap Jesus, which is a little bit unusual because usually these two groups, the Pharisees and the Herodians, work against one another, not together. But both of these groups are threatened by Jesus. His teachings and the large crowds following him make them nervous. So they become allies to rid themselves of this troublemaker, Jesus of Nazareth. They want to protect their hierarchical system, which gives them the authority to decide who belongs. Specifically, they want to maintain their status at the top while keeping the poor, the sick, those with mental illness, immigrants from other places, all the ones on the margins that Jesus welcomes. The Pharisees and Herodians prefer to keep these on the bottom. And we may think that we're not like those opposed to Jesus. We're not like the Pharisees or Herodians, but we too are blind to our own worldview and status. When we insist that our political, economic, racial, social, and even religious beliefs give us status over others, we become modern-day Pharisees and Herodians, working against the way of Jesus. This is what is commonly known now as confirmation bias. We hurl insults and tricky questions at those who threaten our belief system, at those who challenge our status, with the underlying intention of proving just how important we are. The Pharisees and Herodians think that they, indeed, are much more clever than Jesus, and that they can create a way to trap him by asking about paying taxes to the emperor. But Jesus, with ease and brilliance, responds that what belongs to the emperor should be given to the emperor. The emperor's face is on the coin, so give it back to him. It belongs to him. But, Jesus goes on to say, what belongs to God should be given to God. Jesus' response to those who oppose him is amazing to them because he goes back to the beginning, the very beginning, when God creates humans. Genesis 1:27 says, "So God created humankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them." We belong to God above anything or anyone else. And those who oppose Jesus recognize the truth of Jesus' reminder. They have forgotten the foundation from which everything begins: belonging to God. They have taken things into their own hands, creating a system based on status, where they hold the power and authority to decide who belongs. They get to decide who's in and who's out, whose face gets put onto a coin. With Jesus' response, he invites us to remember the foundation of who we are as human beings. We don't have to create systems to make us feel like we belong, like the Pharisees and Herodians, because we belong to God from the very beginning. This is our birthright. God's face is imprinted on us. We might say that we are God's coins, the currency of God's economy. We bear the image of God. Every single human being does. When we live into our identity as imprinted with the image of God, when we accept that we are God's coins, we soften. We see others with more compassion. We lean into forgiveness a little easier and open up. We expand and include. And we enjoy the freedom of living in God's economy, not one created by our own hands, but God's economy, where everyone, all of God's coins, belong. May we remember our core status as God's coins and recognize the same in everyone we encounter. Amen.